Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. We continue our week of learning, and we ask you to please continue davening for Chaylei Tzvah Agana Yisrael, L'Fur Shalom L'Chol B'Tzuah Yisrael, safety of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael, Nishmat, Sern Daniel Shimon Arav Durham V'Shel Yisham Kam Damo. Learn every day, or dedicate our learning in his memory and in his honor. The next chapter, Sugei HaKaddish. Tiknu Chachamim Lomer Kaddish B'Siyam Kol Shlav Shel Tefillah. Chazal instituted that a Kaddish should be recited at the conclusion of each section of davening. Achar Amiras Karbanos Omrim Kaddish Rabbanan. When we finish saying Karbanos, we say the Kaddish Rabbanan. Achar Siyam Psuki D'Zimra Chati Kaddish. When we finish Psuki D'Zimra, we say a half Kaddish. Achar Nefilas Apayim V'Tachanunim Chatzi Kaddish. When we finish Tachanun and falling of our heads as part of Tachanun, after Shmona Esrei, we say half Kaddish. Achar Kedusha D'Sidra Kaddish D'Skabel. When we finish Uvalatzion, again, Ashri Uvalatzion, after Shmona Esrei, we say a full Kaddish D'Skabel. Achar Shir Shel Yom Kaddish Yosam, and after the song of the day, we say a mourner's Kaddish. V'achar Pita Makatoris Kaddish D'Rabbanan, and for those who say Pita Makatoris, we say another Kaddish D'Rabbanan. Aidea Kaddish Anu Chosim Imrom Kol Shlav Mishlavei HaTfilah El Hamagama HaElyana V'Yoser. So through the vehicle of Kaddish, we conclude, we seal, and we also elevate each section of Tefillah, each portion of the davening, to the highest possible level, Shehi Kavod Shemayim, which is in honor of heaven. Mitokach Mamshichin Lishlav Haba. And this allows us to conclude the previous part that we just finished and now go on to the next level in a proper manner. Arba'a Nusachim Yesh Kaddish. There are 4 specific nusach of Kaddish, and let's call them by name. First, Chatzi Kaddish, Hu Ikar HaKaddish. The main part, as we said yesterday, the main part of Kaddish, which we went through sort of phrase by phrase. And this is called a half Kaddish because it's just to differentiate from the other lengthier Kaddishes that have all these additions. And in any place where we don't want to add extra stuff, so to speak, so then we'll say the half Kaddish. The second is Kaddish Yehei Shlama. Nikrogam Kaddish Shalem, something which is called a Kaddish, a full Kaddish. Ve'omrim also achar amiras psuke Tanach. Mitavsa bo bakasha she'alon l'chol Yisrael shalom v'chaim tovim. U'mesayimim osa shalom b'mramav v'imru amen, etc. This is called the Kaddish Shalom, which has in it, aside from the initial part of Kaddish, it has certain verses of Tanakh, and we have a request that there should be peace and good life for everyone. And then we finish, of course, Osei Shalom. And this, to most people, is known as the mourner's Kaddish, and perhaps the most popular or most well-known, because since it's generally said by those who are in mourning or by the orphans, that's why it's called Kaddish Yosam. It's technically not a mourner's Kaddish, it's an orphan's Kaddish. The third is Kaddish Tiskabel. When we finish the Shmona Esrei prayer, we say the Tiskabel, because the phrase Tiskabel Tzlozhon, we're asking God, please receive and accept the prayers that we just uttered. So at the conclusion of Shmona Esrei, now we don't say it actually after Shmona Esrei, we just said we say it after Uvalat Zion, but that's technically the conclusion of the Shachris portion going on the Shmona Esrei, which is why we said a few days ago that the Chazan should not have any hefsek between this recitation of Shmona Esrei and the Kaddish Tiskabel. And the fourth is Kaddish D'Rabbanan, Omer Achar Lima B'divrei Chachamim, after we study Torah in the words of the Chachamim, Uvo Lifnei HaTosefes Shal Kaddish Shalem, Mosifin Tefillah Al Lomdei Torah, because this has, in addition to the longer Kaddishes, we have a prayer for those who study Torah, Sheyizku L'chaim Tovim V'aruchim, that they should be zocha, they should merit a long and good life. Aniyas Amen Al HaTosefes Halelo Eina Chashivik Ikar HaKaddish. When we answer Amen on these Kaddishes, it's not the same as answering in the main part of Kaddish, Amen Yehesh Merabah. That doesn't mean that one doesn't have to answer. It just means, let's say you're in a different part of davening and you're not sure whether you should interrupt. So it's not like the first part of Kaddish where you can interrupt in certain places. Let's say even in the brachas of Kriya Shema to say Amen Yehesh Merabah, the same does not apply to the Amens in the rest of this Kaddish. So these are the categories of Kaddish. We should know why they're there. Again, most people, they associate Kaddish with death, Kaddish with mourners, but that's actually probably the least part of it. The main part of the Kaddish is established as part of davening, and it's important for us to understand this and understand what we're saying, what we're answering, and why we're doing so at that specific time. So, thank you again for joining us. Please continue davening for Chaylei Tzvah Agana Yisrael, L'Fur Shalom L'Chol B'Tzuah Yisrael. concern. Daniel Shimon Arav Daron Vishon Shanku Damo. And always daven for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael for their safety. Thanks so much for joining us today. See you next time. Have a great